Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ που ήρθατε. Και είναι ωραίο γιατί θα το κάνω και στα αγγλικά. Είναι η δεύτερη φορά που θα γίνει στα αγγλικά παρουσίαση και γενικά η ιδέα μου είναι να ξεκινήσει και ένας κύκλος αγγλόφωνων σεμινάριων Thetahealing στην Ελλάδα. Τα τελευταία 9-10 χρόνια γίνονται μόνο στα ελληνικά, οπότε νομίζω ότι στην Ελλάδα υπάρχουν αρκετοί αγγλόφωνοι που ζουν εδώ μόνιμα. Οπότε η ιδέα είναι αυτή. Okay, so now we'll start talking in English. The reason for doing this seminar in English is because there's a lot of English-speaking people living in Greece, which are living here permanently, or even if they come for holidays, maybe it's a good opportunity to make a seminar or a session of Thetahealing. And so many years, I'm doing 9 years now of Thetahealing, and this year I will try to establish also the English-speaking seminars as well. So today we will represent Thetahealing. Okay, Thetahealing. This lady here is Vaiana Steibel, and Vaiana Steibel is the founder of this method. About 25 years ago, she started it. It was through a personal experience she had that she started it. Before she started the seminars, or just saying about Thetahealing all over the world, she was studying naturopathy, she was intuitive healer, so she had her own practice. At some point she got ill, very sick, and she had a cancer. She was about to lose her leg, and her doctor said maybe even if they cut the leg off, she will have only 3 months to live. It was really very strong cancer. At that point she had 3 little children, and she was saying herself that the pain was so much. Please come in, please. The pain was so much that for me, I wish I would have died. But because I had my children, I really wanted to live for them. And she had the faith in God that God will take care of her. But the time was passing without any healing. And at some point she was praying so much, God, why I cannot heal myself? I'm an intuitive healer. I heal so many other people. Why I cannot heal myself? And God told her, look, Vaiana, you're okay. You're going to live. You're not going to die. So it's up to you to decide if you want to live with this pain and this cancer or not. But you're going to live. Don't worry. You're not going to die. So decide which kind of quality of life you want to have. And Vaiana really prayed a lot and did a lot of introspection. And at some point she started seeing, at the same time she was working. She had to feed, she was divorced, she had to take care of her 3 little children. And as she was working, she was noticing that people were healing very, very fast. She was doing something different that time, and people were healing very fast. So she immediately started applying that to herself. And one day, she didn't have cancer. Like one day she had cancer, she did the prayer, and the next day she did not have cancer. And of course, it's something that you can see with all the doctor's documents and everything, you can prove that. And somebody would say, oh, a miracle happened. And Vaiana saw that now, okay, by this miracle, now she has a second chance to live. So immediately felt the inspiration that I'm a human being, I'm not an angel with wings. I healed. You can call it miracle, but I healed instantaneously. So what made that instantaneously healing to happen? I'm just a normal human being. Why it happened to me? If it happened to me, it can happen to other people as well. So in this point, she started thinking how this happened, and she started doing her first classes, her first seminars on this technique. And after that, slowly, year by year, she developed the seminars, the books, she wrote the books, and she established the technique of Thetahealing technique all over the world. So now we have 25 years all over the world with this technique. And in Greece, we have it the last 9 years. It was around 2010, 2011. Until that time, I was living in India. And in India, actually, I did my first seminars of Thetahealing. And immediately, that changed my life, completely changed my life, the seminars. After 8 days, just 8 days of seminars, and I was a completely different person. And that thing that I was never to be a healer, I didn't used to have that as a professor. I was in India doing some voluntary work with social services and ecological projects. Nothing. I didn't have anything to do with psychology or psychotherapy, or let alone intuitive psychotherapy, or intuitive healing. And after I did the seminars, something changed in me, and immediately I got so interested in Theta healing and started reading about it and doing more seminars and more seminars. And in a brief time, within 1 year, immediately I felt, okay, I think I have a different call now in my life. And I left India and I came back to Greece. And it looked like it was a good thing to do. It was really guided by inspiration. Because the moment I came to Greece and I started doing my first seminars and my first private sessions, it completely flourished. Like, so many people were coming, so many opportunities, so many doors opened from all over walks of life. And this really encouraged me to continue, but encouraged me first of all that I'm on the right path, I'm doing the right thing. And this is how since 2011, 2011, I started Theta Healing. So, and I hope this year to establish it in English as well. So far it was in Greek language. Alright, so that's a brief story about Vaiana, and this is the 2 books. That is the first book. It's relative to the first seminar, the basic seminar, and this is the second book, which is relative to the second advanced seminar. After that, she wrote other books. You can see them on the table today there for the more advanced seminars. So, what will happen in the seminars? You can approach the Theta Healing either by seminars or by doing private sessions with a healer. A private session, you sit next to each other and you discuss your private issues, and the Theta healer guides you how to solve them. In the seminars, you learn what the healer is doing. You learn to do it by yourself. So you learn to do it on yourself, or to do it on your family members or on your friends. So it's for self-awareness, even if you don't want to heal, if you don't want to heal yourself or another person. Anyway, to do a seminar, it's good for self-awareness. It will solve many questions about life, about God, about the body, about psychology of a human being. It's good for self-awareness anyway, even if you don't want to heal anybody, not even yourself. But if you do want to apply the practices, the techniques, you can do a perfect healing on yourself in any level, either in the body level, the physical level, or in the psychological level. If you wish, you can apply it to a third person, voluntarily or in a friendly level. But if you wish, and if it is your calling, like it was in my life, you can become a professional Theta healer. You can do more seminars, more advanced seminars, and then you just start your own business, and you can be also a Theta healing instructor, like to teach. So all these opportunities are there, and you just do whatever it's on your whatever your soul tells you to do. All right. In Theta healing, the name Theta is called Theta because it has to do also with the Greek letter theta, and the scientists took this letter to describe the theta brain waves. So in the beginning, in the meditation, in Theta healing, we use a meditation which is around 3 to 5 minutes. It depends how much you want to keep this meditation, how long you want to keep it, in order to access these theta brain waves. And after we do this small meditation, then we start the session on ourselves, or if we do it on another person. This session will last up around, let's say, half an hour to solve the issue we have that moment, be it in the body or on the soul, on the psychological level. So in the beginning, we want to access this theta brain wave, and we do it by a meditation, which we will do this meditation today in a short moment, just to explain why we want to access the theta brain wave and what is a theta brain wave. So brain wave means it is in the brain. So we have the brain, and our brain, all the material of the brain composes from 100 billion brain cells. A brain cell is exactly like that. This is a brain cell, an individual brain cell, and you see it has many branches, and these branches connect with other brain cells. So one cell ends into around 10,000 branches, very small branches, just one cell, very small branches. And each one of these branches connects with other brain cells. So if one individual has 10,000 branches, connects with 10,000 brain cells. And each one of these brain cells does exactly the same. So all these brain cells together, they form a net. We call it neuron net. So it's a net, really like a spider net, connecting one cell with the other. And when they connect, here's a connection, just the very end of the connection. The branch of one cell with the branch of the other cell. So what happens is they transmit electrical pulse from one to another. And also they never really touch each other. What happens, we call it synapses. Synaptic means connection, the connecting states. And as you see here, these small things, you can imagine them as electrical ions. They are electrical ions that they pass from one to another. And because this electrical pulse is going all over the brain, this is how the brain functions. If there's no electrical pulse, that brain cell will be dead. Like say when you wake up in the morning and you're kind of, oh my God, you cannot even move, it's because not so much electrical pulse is still there. And as you wake up more and more and more, means more electrical pulse, more activity, so now you're awake. So this electrical pulse, the scientists, they can measure it. So we measure it in the Hertz climax. And so when the pulse is very low, like 1, 2, 3, 4 waves per second, we measure the frequency. So this frequency is 1, 2, 3. So we call it delta frequency. And this is a very low frequency. It happens when we sleep at night, and it's a very, very, very deep sleep. Then if the frequency is more frequent, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves per second, 5, 6, 7, this we call it theta brainwave. And this is what brain state we want to be in when we do theta healing. We want to be in this one. Alpha is even more frequent, the frequency is stronger. So this is the state that we are when we close our eyes and we are trying to relax. We enter the alpha brain wave, and then when we go more deep in our meditation and more deep in our relaxation, we call it theta brain wave. And when we go completely deep in the meditation, that we don't have even the awareness of our surroundings, we call it delta brain wave. In beta brain wave, you see the frequency is very strong here. It's now, like I'm talking to you, you're watching me. This is a beta brain wave. So it's when we are awake, which means that since you're awake, you have your eyes open, your body moves. So all the parts of the brains, they must function in order for you to move and be awake. And gamma brain waves is when you try to synthesize many informations together and to take very quick and fast actions and decisions. This is all the brain is in a higher hyperactivity. So this is when we are in gamma brain wave. Now, each moment, different parts of the brain are in some brain wave. Let's say if you are now seeing and you are concentrating very much, means that your optical nerves is in a beta brain wave because it has to function. But other brain cells that they're not necessary for seeing, they are relaxed. So that moment they might be in theta brain wave. So the whole brain has all the brain has all these waves at the same time in different parts. But which brain wave is more, it depends on what you are doing. Now we are awake, so in which brain wave we are? In beta. Now, if I tell you, close your eyes, and close your eyes, please close your eyes. And feel your heart, feel your body, relax your heart and your body, relax your feelings. Now, slowly, slowly, you enter the alpha brainwave. And if we carry on this meditation and we stay silent for more than 5 minutes, you enter the you will enter the theta brainwave. Okay? So you can open your eyes, and now you're again in beta brainwave. It's so quickly and so fast. So why we use why we want to enter the theta brainwave? Because it's the slower than the others, but it's not completely. You're not unconscious. Like if you enter the delta brainwave, you cannot even talk. But if you are in a theta brainwave, you are the most relaxed you can be. But also you can talk, you can function. It's possible. So that's why we use it. And also in the theta brainwave, we have many bodily positive effects, benefits, and also psychological effects and benefits. Like many hormones, beneficial hormones are produced during the theta brainwave. The person has better memory. The blood is stabilized. The two hemispheres of the brain are equalized. The blood pressure is stabilized. Many benefits. But the best benefit is that when we enter the theta brain wave, we can really, that moment, go deep in our subconscious mind and see what is deep in our subconscious. And I will talk soon about our subconscious. The other thing that happens when we are in theta brain wave is that our intuition develops. What is intuition? I will ask you now, what is your point of view about what intuition is? Have you seen during your life that you have a lot of intuition, like you think something and that something happens, or you intuitively catch some things in your surroundings and these things are true? Does that happen to you sometimes?
Yes.
Do you have any experience about that? To tell me. Would you like to tell me? What's your name?
My name is Lily.
Lily,
nice
okay.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Intuition has played a big role in my life. Ever since I have tuned into it, I always get signs and I get signs in everyday life. I like have.
Can you turn it on?
Turn it on. I think it's on.
It's a green? Okay. Okay.
I have. Is it working now?
No.
It's
It's okay. No problem. Okay. Okay. Just talk loudly. Okay.
Okay. So I might like think of a person, and then I haven't seen him or her in months, and I get a call, or if I want to make a decision, the best way I have found since I've tuned into my intuition is to just let the signs show me what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So intuition, you cannot explain exactly what it is because it's not measured. There's no machine that you measure intuition. Briefly, what intuition is. We have our five senses, okay? Hearing, smelling, taste, seeing, and hearing. So, sorry, touch, yes, okay. Yes, hearing is here, okay. So we have these five senses and we perceive the world because we have these five senses. If we didn't have, we could not perceive the environment, we cannot perceive the outside world. So scientists are telling because you have these five senses, you are limited because these five senses, they work only in a specific frame. Like you cannot see kilometers away, you can see only so far. You cannot hear everything, you can hear up to one point. You cannot hear supersonic or I don't know how to call this, lower sounds. So we are kind of limited, so you cannot perceive everything. But intuition is our five senses extended to the maximum, extended to infinite capacity. Do we have infinite capacity? Yes, because we are not machines. We are human beings. We are consciousness. So you cannot measure consciousness. You cannot say it starts from here and finishes here. Consciousness is infinite. So our capacities as a conscious being is infinite. So how far I can see? Yes, with your normal eyes, you can see so far, let's say 5 kilometers. But with your intuitive eyes, you can see everything in your spiritual eye. You can perceive. Also with the hearing, you don't hear real sounds outside, but you hear a voice inside. Also with the smells, in Greece we say, I smell this, which means I perceive it, I know what it is. And we use smell as a word for that, which means perception. So With a touch, in order to feel a person, you touch him. But with your intuitive ability of touching, you don't need any more touching. You just need empathy. You have empathy. Now, with empathy, you can feel anybody, what are his thoughts, the state of his body, even if he's in the other side of the world. So, intuition means our 5 senses, they become hyper intuition, they become hyper senses, they become super perception, hyper perception. And so vision becomes clairvoyance, hearing becomes clairaudience, touch becomes empathy, smell and taste becomes ultra perception. Now, with this ultra perception, clairvoyance, clairaudience, empathy, which is natural to every human being, it's not a charisma. It's not something that some special people are born with that. It's everybody can do it if he a little bit practice on it. Some people they have it naturally as a natural capacity, maybe because of their DNA, maybe their ancestors had it, so they carried it through the DNA to them, or maybe in past lives they practice on that. But here, even if you feel I don't have any intuition at all, by doing these seminars and doing this meditation and all the process of the seminar, after 3 days you will know that you have intuition, just you need a little bit more practice. Myself, I was surprised. I was never an intuitive person. I did the seminars, and after I did the first 3 days of the seminars, met out the advanced seminar and the other seminar, and after a few seminars, I could completely read the person, know his thoughts, know his feelings, know what happens in his body. And it was not only me. I see my students, when they come, just normal people with no any extraordinary capacities or yoga or spiritual capacities. And after 3 days of seminar, they can, we have a practice in the seminar that is called intuitive reading of the body. And you read each other intuitively, and the person who thought, I don't have this capacity, he tells to the other person, do you have something in your neck? I feel something in your neck. And the other person says, yes, I have my thyroid. So there's a confirmation at that moment in the seminar that I perceived something. I didn't make it out of my mind. So even Einstein said that intuition, like all the things that he discovered, he was seeing them in his sleep, and they were coming by intuition, not because he was studying and reading the books. Okay. So now we'll do the Theta Healing meditation. The meditation that will enter us into the brain wave, a theta brain wave, and then with this theta brain wave, naturally our intuition will develop. And then we will use this intuition to do our session, to discover what's wrong with us and how to solve our problem. Now, why I have these pearls here? Because I will guide you through a meditation which is very symbolic. I will take you through stages of the mind and of the soul, and every stage is symbolic with a color, like a golden color or blue color or white color. And at the end, we come to this purple-white color. You see, this is white here. And here it's purple-white. What's the difference? It's not exactly white-white. It has a little bit, it's iridescent. It has a bit blue inside. And also, it shines. The white is not shines, that does not shine. But the purple-white, not purple, pearl-white, this is a pearl, the pearl-white shines. It emanates light. So this is the light of God. And now we come to this point to say about God. In Theta Healing, we want to enter a state of, when we reach the highest consciousness, this we call it God, but you can call it any name you like. You can call it God, Creator, Jesus Christ, Buddha, or whatever religion you are into. You can call it with that name. The only principle is to feel that this is the highest source. There's nothing above that. Even if a person says, I don't believe in God, I'm not religious, if you ask him, do you believe in love? Do you love your children? Do you believe that love is the highest principle for a human being? Yes, okay, just say it love. You don't have to say it God or put out the religious names. So whatever is the source of consciousness and the source of all goodness and the source of love, whatever name you give to it, it's accepted. I will speak about it as say God because this is natural to me. I'm Greek, God is something natural here. So would you like to tell me your way of saying this higher source, the name that you call it?
I would say God as well.
Higher consciousness, okay.
Not exactly sure, but maybe it's closer to God.
Closer to God, something like that?
God or light.
God or light?
I would say consciousness.
Consciousness, okay. Just use this name. We want to enter what is the highest for us because we don't want information from lower parts of ourselves. We want information from the highest part, the most wise, the most intelligent, the real loving part of us. We want information from there. So we want to access now a realm, and later I will explain what I'm explaining now. It's more psychological or religious terms. I will explain it very scientifically because luckily it has been discovered what we are calling God or consciousness. Even now scientists are talking about it, and they make the whole new science, the whole new physics and new laws of physics just on this consciousness. It's the quantum mechanic physics anymore, like the old Newton physics. It's okay, but now we have the new physics, which is called quantum mechanic physics. And also we'll explain everything scientifically, so you don't think that you are some spiritual seminar talking all about spirituality. We will talk it also in scientific terms. So, would you like to start the meditation? I will make it very short, it's longer, but I will make it short just to have an idea of it, really to have a first experience. You don't need to take it, whatever you feel, it's accepted. Even if you fall asleep or if you don't feel anything, don't worry, just to have the first experience, okay? It will be guided, I will guide you through that. All right, close your eyes. Sit in a comfortable position. It's okay to have your spine straight, but it's not necessary. Just place your body as comfortable as you like. And bring your attention to your heart. And from your heart, bring now your energy, your attention, or your energy, bringing down to your spine, down to your legs, down to the soles of your feet. And from there, go down to the earth. Go very deep down to the center of the earth. Go down until you reach the center of the earth. There, in the center of the earth, feel the earth as the Mother Earth, the Mother Nature, and connect with her. She is part of God as well. Connect with her divine motherhood energy. And now, from the center of the earth, bring this energy back to you. Imagine that this energy comes through the soles of your feet, up to your spine, and upwards, up to the top of your head. Now imagine this energy is going outside of your head, above your head, and now there is created a nice ball of life, and you just sit down inside that ball of light. This ball of light travels upwards, is going higher towards the sky, and from the sky goes up to the universe. Now you cross with the upward direction, you are going higher, and you cross all our known universe. You cross the planets, and from inside the nice ball that you're sitting in, now you can have all the view of our galaxies, the planets, the stars. And as you watch all this nice view, you're going higher and higher and higher, upwards, upwards, upwards. And now you enter many bright lights. They're white, nice, bright lights. And you cross these bright lights and you go higher and higher and higher. And now you cross a nice golden light. That golden light represents the angelic energies of consciousness. You cross this golden light, you're going higher, higher and higher. And now you will enter another realm, which is the laws of the universe. The laws of the universe are huge consciousness that they keep all the universe in order. These laws of the universe, they look like a jelly substance, like a thick water, and you cross this water going higher and higher, up, 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 and more upwards. And then you see a nice pink light, and this pink light represents compassion. This pink light is beautiful. It's like a fog. And you follow it, and this consciousness will, this compassion consciousness will lead you to the higher God consciousness. Follow this nice pink light. You're going higher and higher and higher. And now, as you reach your final destination, you imagine that this ball of light that you were in dissolves behind you. And now you're going towards a purple, bright light. This pearl bright light represents the God consciousness, the higher consciousness. Imagine that your body enters through this light. This light shines like the sun, and you can even look it with your eyes without hurting your eyes. As you enter this bright light, this pearlescent light, you feel all your body becomes light. You feel every atom, every molecule of your body becoming light. This pearl, shiny light is a tingle light. It shines all over, and wherever you look around you, there's only this light. There's no paradises or angels or even your own human body. There's only light, and you have become light. This light, this white pearl, iridescent light represents the divine consciousness. And now you are one with it. Repeat inside yourself, I am one with everything, and everything is one with me. Now that you are one with everything, so that means you have access to all the information about you, about everything in the universe. So from this point, from this kind of consciousness, you can start your session on yourself or on another person. So slowly, slowly, you can open your eyes. So this is the meditation that it brings. When you are in this white light, all your brain, if you would measure it with a machine, you will see that you are in a theta brain wave indeed, no doubt about that. But you are in a theta brain wave with the purpose to connect to the divine, because anybody can enter the theta brain wave. If he does this meditation, can enter this brain wave. What the difference is that you have the intention to connect with the divine. If you don't have this intention to connect with the divine, then you don't do theta healing. You can just go to the theta brain wave just to relax, or to do something else, maybe in a more relaxed way. But if you have the intention to tune to the divine consciousness, then you do theta healing. So that's the second main point. The first is to enter the theta brain wave, and the other is to have the intention to tune to the divine consciousness. And the third is that when you do that, immediately, since you are one with everything, means all your abilities will be everything. Since you are one with the infinite, your abilities, your intuitive abilities, will be infinite. So now you can see everything, you can perceive really everything. You can, you see, even let's say a mother has her son in a country which is very far away. You know, usually mothers, they know everything. How do they know everything? How do they know when you are sick, if you had an accident, and even your mother is at the other side of the world, she calls you that moment that something happens to you? How do they know? They know because they love you. And when they love you, they're one with you. So when you're under love, which is God, You become one with every single thing exists on the universe, be it a human or an animal or a plant. So you can have his information. You can have the information of that person or plant or animal or a situation in your life. So now we're not going to heal an animal or a plant, we're going to heal a human being. So when we have these intuitive abilities, what we want to do with them? With these intuitive abilities, what we will do, we will enter, with our intuitive abilities, we will enter the subconscious mind. And then we will bring the subconscious mind to the conscious mind. What is subconscious? What is conscious? Psychology tells us, the science of psychology tells us that this whole circle is our mind. And we divide the mind 10% to the conscious mind and 90% to the subconscious mind. What does that mean? It means that out of the totality of our mind, only 10% we are aware what's happening. The other 90%, it's hidden from our awareness, but it's there. So when you function in the daily life, you function with your mind, with the totality of your mind. But since the 90% is hidden, you do things, but you don't know exactly why you do them. But you do them because you do them because you are after the information that is in your mind. But 90% you are not aware of it. So what we want to do, we want to enter our subconscious, and you cannot enter your subconscious mind without intuition. Let's give an example. Somebody says to his friend, you know, you're a very jealous person. And his friend tells me, I'm not jealous at all. I don't feel jealous at all towards anybody. And his friend tells, you know, everybody knows that you're a jealous person. And this friend tells, no, I'm not. He doesn't know that he's jealous person because he knows only 10% of himself. He does not know what is behind it. So everybody knows except him. So what you do with your intuition, because you are relaxed so much, because now you start having clairvoyance, and brutal perception, you can perceive what is in your subconscious mind. So what is in our subconscious mind? It's all our experiences since the day we were conceived, not we were born. Since the day we were conceived, we started feeling experiences. Like what our mother, let's start here, the day, let's say we are in the womb, what the mother feels. Now you see a lady which is very happy. So this happiness produces hormones in her brain, and this hormones goes to her blood, goes to her cells, and goes of course to the fetus. And the baby now feels accepted. The baby now feels happy. The baby feels that, oh, I will survive. But you see this picture here, she holds here in her hands, she holds a pregnancy test. Oh my God, I'm pregnant. And both of them, parent and her, and the mother, they feel sad about it. They didn't expect it, they didn't wait for it, they didn't plan it. So immediately, different hormones of stress are produced in her brain and in her body, and this goes to her cells, goes to the fetus, and goes to the DNA of the fetus, and changes the DNA of the fetus, and also goes to the mind of the fetus. And now the fetus, what does it feel? Before the fetus was feeling, I'm accepted, I will survive. And now the fetus feels, will I survive? Will she keep me? Will she love me? So immediately, since the day we were conceived, we started developing and producing our beliefs. They love me, they don't love me, fear of survival, immediately from the first day. And after, let's say, the next stage of life, as a child, if you are with harmonious parents, of course you will develop many positive beliefs about yourself, about life. You will feel strong, you will have confidence about yourself and life. But if you are in a family that both of them, they are not harmonious, and they are not harmonious with you, immediately you will develop many negative beliefs about yourself and about life. If this is the life of a child, that the child thinks is life generally outside. And later, in the next stage of life, if you are in a good relationship and you feel the love and all your sexual impulses and all your sexuality is connected with your soul, and you feel total as a person, you will develop a very happy person. But if your sexual life, the life with a partner is not harmonious, then you'll see the person even can commit suicide out of the pain of rejection or of a relationship that is not going well. And later in life, if you are living in the nature and you know what you are doing and you follow the path of your soul, you will feel that I belong in this world. But if you work in an environment that you don't like to be here, you just do it for money, for survival, and it's not the call of your life, you will feel that, what planet is this? I'm here just to survive, I'm just somebody who wants to eat, drink, and that's all, without meaning or purpose at all in life. So, from all the stages of life, you develop beliefs. And these beliefs, they're into the 90% of your subconscious, and you don't know that you have them. Let's say, if this man here was the child here, he started, let's say if that man here is like, I don't know, 30-year-old, 30 years before, he started his negative beliefs. I'm not accepted, nobody wants me. And these beliefs continued, and the same beliefs now, they became more and even more beliefs with a similar experiences in life. And after 30 years, you feel completely unhappy. But it didn't start now. It started long time ago. But if you ask this person why you are unhappy, he will say, oh, because I don't have the job of my dreams. But with your intuition, you can say, no, it didn't start here. It started here. But this person, how he can know? He doesn't have intuition. He knows only the 10% of whatever is in his conscious mind. So if you want to help this person, yourself, you enter the theta brain wave, you tune with the divine, where all the informations are there. You have developed already your intuition, and with your intuition, you can go there, where it started, and heal it there. That's why you need intuition. If you go to your friend and you tell him, oh, I'm happy, I don't know what to do, he will tell you, oh, don't worry, everybody has the same problems. He will not give you any healing. If you go to let's say a medium psychologist, he will tell you, oh, do breath exercises, have positive, do positive affirmations, and it will be fine. If he's a medium psychologist. If this psychologist has a lot of intuition, really good intuition, he can go and enter that stage of your mind, of your brain, and he can heal it there. That's why you need intuition. Just superficially, from the 10% of your mind, you cannot do it. All right. So let's do some small exercises between us. Ask yourself, what negative belief did I create from this experience? So bring in your mind, close your eyes now, bring in your mind a negative experience that you had as a child. Bring it into your mind. It's a simple exercise. You're safe to remember it. Don't worry. You're safe to remember it and deal with it. Just bring it to your mind. What negative belief, what did I say about myself when I was experiencing these negative circumstances? And the first thing that it will come to your mind, you can just open your eyes and tell me. See, in Theta Healing, we're like that. We don't think a lot. You ask God, and God gives you the answer. Because God is inside you. You are God. You know the information. It is in your subconscious. So you ask your subconscious, what I felt that time? What did I say to myself that time? What negative belief I created that time? Okay, if you need more time, you can take it. If somebody's ready, you can tell me.
That I wasn't good enough?
You were not good enough. I'm not good enough. You don't need to tell me the experience, just tell me the outcome. Okay. If you want to tell the experience, you are welcome. Yes?
I think I'm still trying.
You're
How
trying?
to get there?
Yes?
I'm still trying.
Okay, you need more time?
I know a good one. That I'm only accepted if I play by the other people's rules.
I'm only accepted if I go by the other people's rules.
Yes.
That's, yeah. So, in Thetahealing, we have four levels where the beliefs are created. The basic level is all the beliefs that we created when we had our experiences. So back here, let's say this child, what belief creates in herself by having the parents shouting at her like that? What do you think? Just imagine something, anything. Fear. I cannot escape. I am prisoned between these two people. I cannot go anywhere. I'm prisoned. I cannot escape. Anything else? Can you imagine? Fear. What else? Unloved. I am unloved. Nobody understands me.
I'm not a good girl.
I'm not a good girl. But here, what the feelings or the beliefs of these two children can be when they have such a good parents? I am accepted. I can communicate. I can express my feelings. Somebody is there to listen to my feelings. All right. Here, when you have a relationship like that, what belief can you, especially if you are 14, 15, 16-year-old, and you cannot deal, this is first time things, and you cannot deal with them so well, what beliefs do you create in yourself? I don't want to see any man in my life again. All men are cruel. Or the man could say, all women are lunatic. All women are like my mother. Because my mother was shouting at me, she's women as well. All women are like my mother. So they create beliefs according to their experiences. So like that, all these beliefs, we don't remember them when we're 5 years after, but they have entered our subconsciousness, and now we are programmed with them. What does it mean, belief? Belief means something that you believe. Like this woman, this girl might say, all men are cruel, so she believes it that moment, that stays in her subconsciousness. And now wherever she goes to meet the next man, the subconscious say, don't go, all men are cruel. It's a program that works in the subconscious mind. So we want with our intuition to enter these programs and change them. We have techniques to change them. So you learn in the seminar the meditation, how to tune with the divine, how to develop your abilities, and how to enter your subconscious mind, yours or of your parents or of your family or of your friends, and find out exactly what happened when they have their first negative experiences and what beliefs did they create there. And then you will have the techniques to change them. Okay, let's go now to the body. Can we heal, just want to see what's the time? Right. Can we heal the body now? Physical illnesses, okay, about psychological things, we can do it. I explained before how. Can we heal the body? Yes, we can. And now we'll explain scientifically how. So we have the periodic table of elements. All these elements are individual substances, and the whole life is composed by these substances. Even if you see a human being or an animal or a tree, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, the human kingdom, the earth, the crust of the earth, the air or the space, wherever you see around you, there's no a gap. There's only one of these elements. And maybe in the space there are some other elements that we have not discovered yet. So far we have discovered 118 elements. So this is the basic elements of life. And each one of these elements is an atom. What is an atom? An atom is a structure of the nucleus of the atom, and inside the nucleus we have these red ones are the protons, and the yellow ones are the neutrons. This is small elements, and protons and neutrons all together, they make the nucleus of the atom. And around the nucleus there are other elements, the electrons, that they go around in orbits. So actually this is a graphic design of an atom. The totality of this structure is an atom. And here you can see a bit more real how an atom looks like. All this is the the cloud of the orbits of the electrons around the nucleus. Here is the nucleus, and here are the orbits of the electrons. So you can see another graph like that. Here is the nucleus, and here are the orbits of the electrons. So what happens is that until 1920, we thought that this is the smallest piece of material that the whole of the world comprises from. But until on 1920, scientists discovered that even inside the proton and inside the neutron, we have smaller materials, and they call them quarks. So these materials, then they show that actually they're not materials. You cannot touch them. You cannot say like it's like a small balls. You can touch them. They're energy. So this makes us think, and this is how they make photographs, and this energy moves in very big speeds of velocity, and from the photograph this is what they can perceive. It's like orbits or like a light goes all over the place. So you cannot touch them, it's just energy. So what this tells us, that if the human body comprises from these elements of the periodic table, we are 65% oxygen. Oxygen is an element of the periodic table. We are 18% carbon. Carbon is an element of the periodic table. Hydrogen, 10%. Hydrogen is the element of the periodic table. We have 3% nitrogen, and some other substances is the rest of it. So actually, you can see that these three, oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, is more or less the totality of our body. So when we see a body in theta healing, we don't see it as a body. We see it as hydrogen, carbon, oxygen. And the whole of the earth and animals and plants, they have exactly the same, these three elements, in different compositions, but exactly the same three elements. So if you take the body, here's the skeleton, here's the nervous system, here's the heart, and the veins, here's the lungs, the intestines, here's the muscles. Even every single part of all this is again composed from oxygen, carbon, and hydrogen. Do you remember what did I say before? This is, let's say, an element of oxygen, or an element of hydrogen, or an element of carbon. This is what they look like. And what is inside them? Quarks. So, finally, let's see again now our DNA. Do you know where is our DNA? We have cells. All the body is made of cells. And each cell has the DNA inside. DNA gives all the information when the cells divide, how they will divide, and what shape they will take. This information is given by the molecule of DNA. So, DNA is a molecule. A molecule is made of atoms. An atom has inside it is made of the nucleus of the atom. The nucleus of the atom has inside it protons and neutrons. Here we have the protons. And the protons is made of quarks. And what quarks is made of, this is where the science stops. That's it. We found quarks, we don't go any further. But here in Theta Healing, we say quarks are made of consciousness. Actually, many scientists now, they say that the whole universe is information, is consciousness. It's not material, it's actually energy. And what energy? Not just energy, just like that random energy, but energy that has consciousness. That's why the whole universe is in order. The plants don't fall on each other. The human body, the body of the plants, of the animals, all they work with some consciousness. If we close our eyes, we have no idea how the breath is happening. We conceive a human being and we don't have any idea how this happens. We don't say, you cell go with the other cell and make a human being. We don't do it consciously. This happens. And that makes us think, if it happens inside my body, who does that? And the answer is, we do it. We do it because we have this information inside us. Just is not conscious of this information, but is in our subconscious. So this is how much power we have. If this moment I know how to do, even to give a birth to a new human being, imagine how much power we have inside us. If you cut your skin, the skin is made of hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen. So if you cut your skin, actually what do you cut? Do you cut the hydrogen, the oxygen, or the carbon? This cannot be cut in half. You cannot cut in half an atom just like that. So what you do, you disarrange them. They have a different now arrangement between them, and you see it as a cut. And now the body, this oxygen, knows how to make a new skin again. So where this stupid oxygen, this carbon, or this hydrogen, they found the consciousness, the cleverness to make a new skin. How do they know? If you ask a quark, make a new skin, how does he know, this quark, to do it? So there is consciousness, and this is the divine consciousness. When we have an illness in the body that scientists are telling, this is from your genes, it's because of your ascensors, and you have some defect in your genes, so now that's why you have this illness or this disease. For us, it's no problem, because this what is made from oxygen, hydrogen, and so on, from quarks, and these quarks are made from consciousness. So if I change the consciousness, if I change the negative thoughts, that means how consciousness we can see it in us. When we have negative thoughts, this is our negative consciousness at that moment. We want to bring a divine consciousness, so we want to bring a different frequency in our quarks, and this will, if we put them in a divine frequency, then the whole body, down to the molecule level, will be healed. So, when we have a human body, we don't see it as organs. We don't see it as a normal human body. We see it in an atom level, in a quark level. We see it as thought, we see it as consciousness, and actually this is how our human body is in reality. It's not this, it's this. This is scientific science. It's not like we're talking about angels and fantastic things. So if you see the body as energy, so if this energy is out of order, in wrong frequency, now with love, and love represents the highest frequency, that's why if you say to a person, you are so beautiful, you are so loving, this person feels, you say the words, how does these words make his muscle of his lips goes upwards? It's consciousness. He hears sounds that he feels good about them. So immediately the muscles take another shape. But if you tell to the person, you're ugly, how you like that? You're not worthy at all, this person will be, the muscles will go down. So, how with something that is not material, just a sound, words that you said, affects something which is material, the muscles. In the first case they go up, in the second case they go down. How a sound, which is not material, affects something which is material. So exactly like that, we see that everything is energy. So when you say something is energy, when you move your body is energy, everything is energy. So we bring now energy with the form of positive thoughts, with the form of positive imagination to bring an effect in our material body. Let's see a little bit here. When we think, the thoughts are formed in our brain. The brain thinks. Immediately, when you think something positive, let's say, immediately, with every thought you do, it means a synapses. The cells make a synaptic connection at that moment. So when you think positive, they make synapses, and these synapses, they give signals. All of the brain end up, all these brain cells, they end up down to the whole of our body. This is the nerves. What is a nerve? A nerve is many brain cells together. If you put thousands of brain cells together, you make a nerve. So from the brain, some brain cells they stay here to do all about the eyes and the to give signals to all the organs that we have in the face, but some other nerves that go down to give signals for the body to move. So all these nerves, they give signals to our muscles, and they give signals to the endocrine system. We have the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, we have the thymus gland, we have the adrenal gland, we have the pancreas a gland, we have the ovary in the woman, or the testes in the men. All these are glands, and there are the 7 glands, and through the signals of these glands, the whole body is moving. The glands and the muscles. So these nerves, they end up on the glands, and they end up on the muscles of the body. And this is how the body moves. So when you think negatively, immediately you give signals to the adrenals to produce adrenaline. And if you produce adrenaline all the time, because all the time you are stressed, then this will burn your cells, will like really eat up this. A little bit of adrenaline is nice to wake up, but a lot of adrenaline then will keep all the body in some hyperactivity, and after the body will get tired and many other dysfunctions. But if you think positively, immediately all the signals will go to the adrenals, the ovaries, or the other glands to function properly. And if they function properly, they function in a very balanced state, the body will be healthy. So when we think positively or negatively, it's not like, oh, it's a thought, doesn't matter. Immediately means a synapses in the brain. Immediately, the very second means some effect in the glands and some effect in the muscles. That's why when you feel unhappy, how you walk, like this. So the body, the muscles, demonstrate your unhappiness. But when you feel happy, I'm happy, I'm good. So the muscles demonstrate your happiness. So this is the immediate connection with a thought that we think it's not material, with a body that we think it's material. But in Theta Healing, thought is an energy, body is energy, so energy affects energy. So now we bring the divine energy in the form of a good thought, in the form of a very high positive thought, and we reprogram our minds with these very high consciousness thoughts. And what do we mean by high consciousness thoughts? We mean thoughts that we perceive with our intuition that they come from the divine. How the intuitive reading is done. So when I want to read a person to perceive what is in his mind, quarks atoms are vibrating, and our brain, through our nervous system, can perceive these vibrations and translate them into one of the many intuitive abilities. So when we have a person in front of us, or when we have ourselves, can we do a demonstration? Which like somebody come here, just for come. Bring this chair with you. So somebody can say, you are here, she's there. How you can perceive her? Because she's energy. Here in the medium of the space, it's energy, the same energy. The air is from atom, is made of oxygen, from nitrogen mainly, and oxygen and hydrogen. I'm made also from nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen. She's made also. So if you see it in the level of quarks, we are here, connected all the time. And we are connecting all the time. So it's very easy to perceive her if I just put my thought on her. If I connect first with the divine, she's inside the divine, I am inside the divine, so it's very easy to connect. We're in the same time and space. So, so she's vibrating, she's made of atoms. Atoms are always vibrating and they're having their own frequencies. She's made of quarks. Quarks are vibrating and they're having their own frequency. So with my mind, because I'm made also from the same frequencies, if I ask, what are her thoughts? What's wrong or good inside her body? Immediately, what does it mean? That I perceive her vibrations, her vibrations are getting into my nerves. I perceive them with my now intuitive nervous system, not with the normal nervous system, but with my intuitive nervous system. And now my mind can translate them into some clairvoyance or some picture in my mind or some hearing in my mind or with some impression or feeling in my body. This is how you can have intuitive abilities. You see something inside you with your closed eyes, you see pictures inside you, or you hear inside you, or you feel like or you have an impression. It's exactly as the cell. How do you call this? Cell phone. Okay, sorry. Okay, cell phone. How this small piece, it's 20 centimeters and 5 centimeters, how this small piece of material can perceive the whole world. If I press the button, humans are inside here, plants, animals, the whole world can be inside. How this can happen? It's exactly the same function with our brain, because we made it. Actually, we put the function of our brain, we made it technology. It's the same function. Because we made it, so actually we made what we are. Now these cell phones perceive frequency through the satellite from all over the world. Is that true? So this frequency, in an instant of second, they're coming inside here. And here it has the machinery, the software, to translate them into a picture or a sound. Exactly the same thing our brain does. Perceives frequency from everywhere, all around the universe, not everything everywhere of our planet, but all around the universe. And this is what the quantum physics are talking now, that every single atom in the universe is connected with every other single atom in the whole of the universe, not in our solar system, in the whole of our universe. So let alone with a person that's just 1 meter next to you, how easily you can connect. So I perceive her vibrations, and immediately my mind, through my seeing capacity, but now my seeing has my vision capacity, but now the vision has become clairvoyance. I can see things of her because these things are vibrating inside her. Because all the memories all the experiences are in our brain cells. When we had experiences, our brain cells made connections. So these connections are still there. The connections that your brain cells did when you were 1 day old in your mother's womb are the same brain cells that are now in your brain this very moment, after 40 years. So they are vibrating. So I can perceive these vibrations, and my mind will translate them into pictures, letters, Greek alphabet letters, or whatever is your language. Okay? All right, let's make, also her body. Let's say you have an infection on your lungs because you caught a cold. The vibrations of the lungs when are in health and the vibration of the lungs when are in a disease is different, isn't it? So you can perceive this difference now. How it would be if it was healthy, how it is when it's in a disease situation. So you can perceive this difference and your mind will translate it. Oh, she has something in her legs. And if you're accustomed with the anatomy of the human body, that's why in Thetahealing in the more advanced seminars, we have anatomy lessons, intuitive anatomy lessons. The more you are accustomed with the body, then you can more have a clear vision of the lungs, of the name of the disease, the name of the viruses, everything. So let's do a small presentation. Would you like to tell me some area of your life that is not going very well, area of your life that is not going so very well, and you would like to improve it, and just to see if I can intuitively see your negative beliefs behind it. Just tell me an area in your life.
My health.
Your health, okay. So what is wrong with health? What exactly is wrong? Just briefly, you don't need to say all the arthritis. Arthritis, okay. All right, so she tells me the information. I will do just a small demonstration. It's not exactly how the session is done. So now, as an intuitive healer, I have to see what beliefs, what kind of psychology, what system of beliefs that led her to having arthritis. Somebody can say, oh, because of the AIDS. You have arthritis because of the AIDS, or because you ate the wrong food. All these are factors, but the main factor is the thoughts that we are having through our life. And we don't take so good care of our body. And this translates to our endocrine system. And this endocrine, they give wrong signals to our muscles. And then things and diseases are built slowly, slowly. So everything, even in a disease, in the body, in a physical problem, it starts again with thoughts. So can I have your permission to access your consciousness and see which maybe negative thoughts they led to arthritis? Okay. So I connect with the divine consciousness. I do my meditation very briefly, and I ask God why he has arthritis. What is the negative beliefs behind arthritis, or other even things in the body that they led to arthritis? Okay. First, what is a bit more physical thing? Do you drink a lot of water?
Yes.
In general, during the day, do you drink 1.5 liters, let's say?
Mm-hmm. Most
Okay.
of the time.
Most
yes.
of the time you drink water. Okay. And would we say that you have a good partner life? Are you in a relationship or married and is going well, or problems?
No, I'm in the middle of a divorce right now.
Okay. How many years you have the arthritis?
4.
4. And how long you are married, and how long is not going well and you are going towards a divorce?
We are together 27 years.
Long time. Okay.
Long time, and I cannot tell exactly how many years things are not going very well.
Okay.
A lot of years.
Okay. Okay. How would start searching that immediately I can see, and this happens to the most of the people, to say the truth, because if we don't go well into this area of life, many things will translate into the body. So I immediately will start searching about what happened with your feelings, what happened in marriage, and solve these problems there. So this is a big factor. And if I would ask you, close your eyes and tell me, out of this marriage and all these things now that you are going to a divorce, what beliefs they create in you? Negative beliefs.
Negative beliefs. How they call it in English? I don't know. Asphyxia.
Like you cannot breathe.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Maybe I'm not good enough.
I'm not
able enough.
I'm not able enough.
Maybe I'm doing everything wrong.
I'm doing everything wrong. Okay. Enough for the moment. So, what does that mean for me? You can open your eyes. Thank you so much. Actually, you're very good. You have a lot of good intuition. Let me ask God also to see if it's this what you're saying or if it's something different than this. Yes, I would say disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Disappointment. Okay. So now, as a healer, exactly as she said it with her own words. I'm not good enough. I'm not able to do things in a correct way.
Mm-hmm.
What arthritis does to the body, you cannot move. You cannot function. You have arthritis and then you cannot do the proper. Do you have any specific parts of your body somewhere in the head?
Here.
In the hips. So
Here and this one.
okay. Which is the
The left one.
left one. Okay. So when you have arthritis, then the connection of the bones will start function slowly, isn't it true? So you will not be able to do things afterwards. Mm-hmm. So it's exactly what you're saying with your thoughts. I'm not good enough, I'm not able to do the things in the correct way, maybe I do everything wrongly. So that reflects to the body with this kind of disease. Slowly you will materialize it by not being able to do things, because you will not be able to move. So now we will change these negative beliefs to positive beliefs. So let's ask, I will ask God, and you can ask also inside you, and I will ask also God, with what positive beliefs we will change these negative beliefs?
I can do anything.
I can do anything.
I want to.
I want to be able to do anything.
I want to be able to do anything. I believe in me.
I believe in me.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I feel hope and I can see the light.
I can see the light. Okay, and I would say I would make it a bit more specific to a relationship that I am. It's possible to find my soulmate, my divine soulmate. It's possible to find him. Like I feel. Tell me if it's true. I feel that somehow the belief that you are able to live with a very good compatible soulmate is like unbelievable inside you. Do you feel that it's possible? Or do you think it's a very far away dream to find that right person?
This specific moment, yes, it is out of this world.
Okay, all right, we will establish again this belief that and I'm not talking about specifically that your husband, the very first, maybe if you change your belief, your husband will turn to be something completely different that you never saw before. What you want is to change that belief, because as long as you carry this belief that this compatible, divine, suitable for me soulmate does not exist, will never exist. Even if you divorce and you go outside, you will function through that negative belief and you will never find him. So you have immediately changed it. You have to change it immediately. Maybe, who knows, maybe the husband will change. If not, the right person will come to your life. And this will give you the happiness, and this will help you psychologically to counteract the arthritis. All right, can I change this belief in you? So I will hold your hand, and do you give me the permission to change that belief? Okay. The negative belief, I'm not able to find ever my compatible partner, with a positive belief, and that says that of course I'm able, and it's my natural right to find that compatible soulmate. So how I'm changing it now is how the healing is done. Using the frequency and the energy of divine consciousness, we tune and reprogram the mind, the quarks, the atom of our body and souls through positive affirmations, feelings and beliefs in order to restructure and realign with this divine consciousness. And here is the key. You have to imagine or to feel the change. The healer is feeling and intuitively imagines the change. So what the healer must do, he has to make it like a picture in his mind. What's your name? Politimi. I make her in my mind a picture that is with her divine, with her most compatible partner, and they hug together and they feel this completeness. If I don't feel it, I will not affect her. So this is the responsibility of the healer now, to feel, to imagine, to become. You know what they say, you have to become the change you want to see in the world, and you have to become what you want to change. At the same time, I have to imagine now her left, what do you call this connection here? The bone, the hip, okay. The hip bone, I have to imagine it in perfect health. If I imagine it like it's in a disease, it will stay as a disease. But if I imagine it in perfect health, it will change, because whatever we imagine and whatever is happening outside, the brain functions with the same cells, with the same synapses. What does that mean? Let's say I have this blue box. When I open my eyes, I see it's blue. So my brain makes some synapses that moment with the blue color, the shape, and the distances, the 3D distances of this item. So I close my eyes now, and I imagine the box. I imagine the blue, I imagine the length, the width. My brain makes again synapses. So this is the secret of all healings, to make your brain make synapses. Even if you see it with your open eyes, even if you see it with your closed eyes, the brain will make again synapses. So we take advantage of this function of the brain. So I imagine that she's healthy. No problem, absolutely healthy in her bone, absolutely healthy with a perfect partner. And then how I affect her? Because I think of her. Because as I told you before, all the quarks are one in the universe. So I think of her, she gave me also her permission. I asked her, I don't do it just like that. She gave me her permission, so we are one now. Whatever you think, you become one with that. So if I think positively, even if that moment is distressed, doesn't matter. What it matters is what the healer is doing, because the healer is connected with the divine, so he has more power. When you are connected with the divine power, you have the highest power. The person who is unhappy has less power, so you can affect him, because he gives you also the permission to lift him up. So this is how the healing is done, by feeling and imagine it in your mind. So to have your permission to do that, to imagine you with a perfect partner and imagine also your hip being it healthy again. All right, we'll take only a few seconds. Really, you don't need a lot of time.
I will close my eyes.
You can, yes, please. So I do have your permission to send you a lot of divine consciousness, which means the white pearl light to your hip. So
Yes,
what I do, I put here quarks to have the frequency of the divine consciousness. In divine consciousness, there's no illness, there's only perfection. So, let's say the quarks of the divine consciousness will realign the quarks of her hips. Okay, what I would say also to take a good supplement of multivitamins, which have inside also all the minerals. Because although you drink water, your body looks a bit dehydrated. So that's why I asked you in the beginning, do you drink water? Because it looks to me a bit dehydrated. So,
and my skin looks like this.
And your skin also. So take a supplement of minerals and for 3 months in order to bring health to your cells, so the cells can take in the water. Okay, all right, and all right. This is all in a physical level that I need you need. I feel that you need for the your hip to heal. And so now, shall we change the negative belief that I'm not able, will never happen to find my true partner, with the positive belief that, of course, and it's feasible to find him. Okay, what I see now, that this new positive feeling opens the chakra of her heart. And how I can feel it? Because I can perceive her vibrations, and my mind can translate this vibration into some picture. So inside my mind I see her heart chakra. So this is something very natural. Everybody can do it. Alright, and now I see that we have to work also with many childhood traumas, but okay, we won't do it here. It's something that I perceive, how I perceive it. Because he vibrates, her mind vibrates. So now I can perceive these vibrations, and my mind translates them into pictures. I'm very clairvoyant. Other people are clairaudient. They don't see it, but they listen to it. Or other people, they just feel it in their body, or they have the impression of it without any picture or sound. I see pictures. So I see pictures of her being a child and having some negative experiences there. That tells me that I have to work on them in order to heal further her hip. Okay? So this is the intuitive session that you can do yourself. Like, let's say I am with myself, I'm doing the same process. Let's say I have a pain in my hip, I ask God what's wrong, why it's there, what's the negative belief behind it, and then I apply all the techniques that you will learn in the seminars, how to heal them. The techniques are directly on the physical body, or to change the negative beliefs. All this is what you will learn in the seminar. All right, thank you very much for this. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I felt it here.
You felt it? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay. All right. So, oh my God, we passed the time. Okay. So that was the presentation for today for Theta Healing. If you have further questions, because now we have to start the Greek section, we're a bit late for the time. Please, you can call me or email me or have any contact with me. You have my card and everything. And on my website, which is in English as well in Greece, you can see about the seminars. An English seminar is on August in Glyfada, in my school. I have a school in Glyfada. And the next English speaking seminar is on August. You will see the dates, the time, the cost, everything is on internet. Or on November in Cyprus. In Athens, on August, November in Cyprus, in Nicosia. I would like for you to give you some time to ask questions, but we don't have so much time. So thank you very much, and you're welcome to stay for the Greek section. And thank you very much. Okay, good night.